We finally got Shedeur Sanders playing for the Cleveland Browns. But what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs? They lose again. My Falcons, they lose again. But the Bears are looking really good right now. And also over in the MLS, we got some big things happening, like a calendar change, like the Apple deal. And also, Laker fans, the King is coming back soon. You know what time it is. Let's go off the clock.
Love for my enemies like X's and O's. Excited niggas and smokers and we come with a different approach. Got blood on my clothes, so all of my goals in line. All of my hoes in line. I found what I'm supposed to find. Gotta learn to close your mouth or leave with an open mind. Oh my God, you from a city they pretend to lie. Being fake in the street, you attend to lie. See so many niggas that be in the truth. Not enough niggas that be in the blind. My niggas are tentative. That means he don't tend to lie.
Hey, yo, what's up? Welcome to episode 3 of Off the Clock. I am your host, Sean Arias. We're here. We talk sports, so we got a lot of sports to talk about today, starting off in the MLS. And I want to start off there because I feel it was a big change with MLS as far as the news that broke out this past week and also the first domino of many changes. I'm a very optimistic person of the direction that MLS is going in, and I want to talk about, the calendar change. The calendar change is what they did this past week. They announced it. They approved it. Owners voted for it and everything. And going from now, it'll be a fall to spring, aligning themselves up with the elite leagues across the world. I think it's definitely big. It's definitely big for the MLS. They start, I think, like late July, early August, around that time frame. They do have a winter break. And I wish it wasn't so long. It's like mid-December to early February of a break. I don't know. I just wish it wasn't that long. But hey, I take it. Maybe in the future they can change things up a little bit. But for now, I like it because it does align them up with other leagues. It does align the transfer windows with other leagues too as well. And I feel like it definitely gives more respect to MLS just in general, based on, people look at the MLS as if, they're not ran correctly. That's the retirement league. And so, running in the league the way that is right there, it's where it makes more sense to where you're not, as of right now, doing a 2-week break during your playoffs, which is just crazy. It's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, you got a 2-week break in the middle of your playoffs after round 1. Now you got to have a break. I think it's crazy. But so changing that up, just looking like you know what you're doing, looking like you're operating like a elite league, I think it's big for the MLS. Sucks for people like me who loves to watch soccer in the summertime and stuff like that. But hey, you get the finals around, I think it's May. They're shooting around May to have their finals and playoffs and stuff like that, which I think is huge. I definitely can't wait to see the transition of that and to see how it helps MLS just in general. Hopefully it'll spark more people to come over to MLS and play. And I think, we're seeing the first of many changes for MLS, Another change, which I think was a positive change as well, was the Apple deal. A lot of people like it. They hate it. A lot of mixed emotions with the Apple deal. I like it, but I don't like it. But like I said before, I like it in the aspect of, I think having a streaming platform is huge for today's world. Being able to have a streaming platform to be on there to where you can watch it anytime and everything, I think is big. But I do think you got to have it be an easier way for people to watch it. You know what I mean? So they're taking away the MLS pass. Now, if you have Apple TV, you get MLS, and that's going to open it up to a lot more people to being able to watch it and stuff like that as well. I do wish they would have some type of deal with a actual network. I always throw in TNT because I think TNT is a great home for sports and stuff like that. They lost the NBA, so they're looking for other sports, and I feel going to TNT will be big for MLS because you do have it on regular cable television. You can also have it on their streaming program as well, which again is major to have a streaming program and also have it to where it's available for the market that you're in and everything. I think it's huge, but I like where we're at right now. They changed the Apple deal. It's not going to, I think, 2030 2032 no more. I think it's like 2029. So they changed it up. They shortened it up a little bit. They influx money here and there. So that definitely are some changes. I think it was definitely necessary for MLS and for Apple to definitely get the most juice they can out of the deal at the moment, So definitely happy for that. I definitely want to see MLS be taken seriously. And that's my next question is, does this make MLS, be taken seriously when it comes to leagues around the world? You know what I mean? I know to some fans, it's like nothing MLS can do that will be efficient for them. You know what I mean? I see some people, no matter what they do, they're still complaining. They complain about everything, and those are just some people, hey, you can never please. You can't please everybody, but I do like the direction they're going in. But they still have to tackle one thing for sure that I think myself and a lot of other people will agree with is the salary cap. I mentioned thousands of times that I don't see MLS getting rid of the salary cap because they want to be financially structured, but I do think they need to higher it. I think right now it was like 8 million, something like that. Very low, or maybe not even that. I don't know, but I think getting it around $20 million per year, per team for the first year or two, and then gradually going up. 20, 25, 30. And like a 3 to 5 year range would definitely help get more elite talent towards MLS. You can still keep your DP spots and stuff like that, but changing things for the better. I definitely think MLS is in the process of hitting those dominoes down. You know what I mean? I speak on the stadium. I did a video before about the stadiums that MLS has as far as the past few years and how they have grown and the atmosphere that people are bringing to the stadiums for MLS games is huge. The momentum is there. I see it. I love it. I want to see more of it. So big ups to the MLS for doing a lot of great things this past, week. There are also rumors that the man Robert Lewandowski could be coming to MLS, could be coming to Inter Miami. I think somebody even put out LAFC. I don't know. That's not I like him. I think he's a great player and everything, but that's not something I'm like, oh my God, about, only because of age. And it still goes back to the stigma of retirement league. I don't want that for MLS. But like, hey, if he comes, that's dope. If he goes into Miami, I think they have enough older guys, honestly. I think, go to another team, Chicago, go to, I don't think Atlanta United. But, go to somewhere else, spread out the stars, you know what I mean? Same thing with Neymar. Like I said, I like Neymar. That's my guy. Him coming into Miami will be dope, but at the same time, spread out the stars. Make it more competitive for everybody, But, hey, it'd be dope if he came, but at the same time, I don't want the continued reputation of the retirement league. So, but other than that, we also have some good news for Laker fans in the NBA. The man, LeBron James, supposed to be coming back very soon. He's heating up, and as far as getting back training and everything like that, this coming up week, he is going to be doing 5-on-5 with the actual team in practice. He was with the South Bay Lakers doing practice with them 5-on-5. Now he is back with the main Lakers. So I definitely think this is a plus for the Lakers. We're looking good right now. We just won, I think, 2-3 games in a row. I love seeing Luka play the way he's been playing. Like I said so many times, this is the year of Luka Doncic, also Victor Wembanyama, two guys who will be battling out for the MVP. Whatever things, ESPN put that list out of top 5 candidates for MVP in the NBA. It's crazy to have Luka at the 4 or 5 spot. It's crazy to me. Like, you can't look at Luka's game this year so far in only 10, 11 games and tell me he hasn't been blowing it out the water. Come on now. Same thing with Victor. Both of them guys should be in the top 3 for sure. But like I said, LeBron James definitely is coming back. But I definitely think that at this stage of his career, this is the stage that LeBron adapts to the team, not the team adapting to LeBron. We have seen how the team has played for the past few weeks. We have enjoyed it. There are things that they can do better. They definitely got smacked in the face by OKC, and it smacked me in the face as well because I am a OKC non-believer, but hey, they are They're doing that thing. I'm not gonna lie. OKC is looking real. OKC is looking like a team that is trying to repeat. I don't think they're gonna do it. But hey, they are deep. They have chemistry, great coaching, great leader. Let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? But I definitely think having LeBron James back will add some, moxie to the team for sure. But it definitely add to the team more than it will take away from the team. Because yes, you definitely got to play different when you have LeBron in your lineup. But at the same time, not having him is a negative, for the Lakers right now. So definitely LeBron coming back. I want to see him do good. You know what I mean? I hope this is not his last year with the Lakers. If it's his last year in general, I'm fine. You know what I mean? Hey, he retired, I understand. But if he doesn't retire and he leaves the Lakers, I'm like, man, I wish he would have retired a Laker, But it is what it is. So, but moving on, to a few other things. We want to talk about Jake Paul for a second. Again, I said last week that, of course, Javonte Davis got the news that, hey, he's not going to be in the fight. It got canceled with him, so he's trying to find somebody else. Jake Paul's looking around, asking this person. I think one of the Diaz brothers came up, and I'm like, nah. And then I heard about Anthony Joshua. I think if Jake Paul did that fight, I would have tremendous respect for Jake Paul. That would be the most difficult fight Jake Paul would ever have so far. The fight, even at 36, 37 years old, Anthony Joshua is still a problem. He has fought great fights, and I think it'll be a great test for Jake Paul to see where he really is at. Jake Paul, I think he's 27, 28 years old, so the age difference isn't super crazy. The weight isn't super crazy either, so it's a lot of things that adds up, and everybody's been asking for, hey, Jake Paul, fight somebody closer to your age, closer in size, fight an actual boxer. These are the things right here that Anthony Joshua brings. But it's a tough task, But like I said, I would have tremendous respect for Jake Paul if he did this match and went in and made it competitive for sure. But let me know what you think about that one. And you think Anthony Joshua is a good step for Jake Paul? I think so. But in other news, let's get to the NFL. With the NFL, there's a lot of things going on this past weekend. Starting with, we finally got to see Shedeur Sanders on a football field. Was it his best game in the world? Nah. Definitely was not his best game in the world. I definitely think that we got to give him more opportunity. I know Dylan Gabriel went out the game with the concussion, but you definitely have to give Shedeur a little bit more time. He was, 4 for 16, 47 yards, 1 interception, 2 sacks. He also had 3 carries, 16 yards. So not his best game. But he also was going against the Baltimore Ravens. So I don't look at it too crazy because that's the Baltimore Ravens. What are they known for? They're known for their defense. They're not having the best year in the world right now, but at the same time, that's still the Baltimore Ravens. You know what I mean? So hopefully he will still get an opportunity to, continue showing himself. Like I said, I think it came out that he really hasn't gotten any first-team reps since he's been drafted. So he has to get, familiar with other players and stuff like that too as well. So that time's going to come, But let's say if you start Shedeur in the next game, which is against the Raiders, that'll be a good game. The Raiders aren't having their best season in the world either, but that should be a pretty good warm-up game for them. I think it'll be great. I definitely want it to be great. Like I said, a lot of people throw hate towards Shedeur, which I think is crazy. But, hey, just give him an opportunity. Give him an opportunity, the same opportunity you gave Dylan Gabriel. You have nothing to lose, honestly. And also, speaking about losing, the Kansas City Chiefs lost against the Denver Broncos, who's looking like definitely a heavy hitter this year. Denver Broncos is 9-2 right now, one of their best records in years, probably since Peyton Manning was there, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. But the Chiefs are 5-5 right now. Definitely unlike them. Haven't really seen them look this bad in quite some time as far as just not gelling together, as far as things not clicking. Patrick Mahomes was 29 for 45, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It's just un-Chiefs-like. But you still can't count them out. You still can't just say, hey, they're not going to make it. They always find a way somehow, some way. And speaking of finding a way, somehow, some way, we got the Bears. The Bears have came out this year looking not like the typical Bears we normally used to. Right now, they're 7-3 right now. They got the young guy, Caleb Williams, looking pretty good right now, 16 for 32. Not bad. 193 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was 4 carries, 26 yards. But, yeah, stats, decent. But at the same time, what he brings on the field, the leadership they've been having, how they've been looking to beat a team like Minnesota, who are, they're 4-6 this year, but at the same time, they're still Minnesota. As far as having the offensive guru they have had the past few years, I think it's a big win for them. This just to continue in that success is big for the the Bears. Big for the Bears, and I think that they have a lot of things to grow on. Their head coach is definitely getting the team going, got them believing, and that's the main thing. As long as you get them believing, that's the main thing. I feel is definitely big for them. One thing is hard for me to believe in right now. It's my Atlanta Falcons. Another loss, another tough loss. I'm tired of getting upset. I'm tired of looking at it and just like, man, we can have opportunities. Unfortunately, Michael Penix Jr. went out in the game towards the end. I think third quarter, I think it was, with a knee injury. I want to say it is. But Kirk Cousins, I think I can officially say that he is either done or just not motivated. It was some opportunities. I feel like, come on, Kirk, are you serious? But I'm not putting all the blame on him as far as the loss. I think it was a loss that was in our hands. We should have capitalized on that. I said before, that's the game we're supposed to get our lick back. They beat us early this year. They beat us at the end of last year. That's the game we're supposed to get our lick back. I did see some promise that I liked a lot in Michael Penix Jr. I liked him getting a little bit more mobile. I want that a lot out of him. Get a little bit more mobile. You can't sit there and just sit in the pocket, move around a little bit. You're a super talented athlete. You know what I mean? You have some legs on you. Use them from time to time. I'm not saying go be Michael Vick, but go be Michael Penix Jr., but more mobile. I hate to see how the Falcons are looking right now. I don't want to say it's completely over, but it's not looking good. I definitely think if this continues, and there's no spark in the offense, in the team morale, team, focus, winning, whatever like that, there will be a firing. And I'd probably be Zach Robinson first. Raheem's my guy. I hate to say it, but, man, I want him to hold on a little bit more. But a change has to come in Atlanta. We have too much talent to have this situation looking the way it's looking. But I'm trying to be patient, trying to be optimistic. But y'all let me know what you think of my Atlanta Falcons and all the other teams and stuff like that. And thank you for watching episode 3 of Off the Clock. Until next time, see you later.